Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Icy Cast with myself, John McKellar, and the man without a face, Jamie McDermott. How are you, Jamie?
Hello, how you doing, mate? Oh, you've had the lurgy?
I have, mate. Yeah, I had the lurgy for about the last week, but I'm feeling better now. Starting to get rid of all the gunk. So if I cough into my mouth and you see me run off, that's
Oh,
what.
that's nasty. You mean kissing dirty men?
I'm sorry. That's a visual that you don't need.
Absolutely not.
What I do between my four walls is my business, Jamie. If I want to kiss dirty men, I'll kiss dirty men.
That's fair. That's fair.
And there's nothing wrong with it. You had a busy day today as well, didn't you?
Aye, just running about, mate. Usual.
Just running about
Not enough
aimlessly, screaming at people.
Yeah.
The Enders die! The Enders die! What was that, sorry?
I said I've been having buses scream at me.
Oh, yeah. Last week, I did that happen
I am
again?
under attack. Right, cool, mate.
What's the latest news with regards to the icebox and more specifically, I guess, with sound booth?
Well, there's no really anything for sound booth because we touched on this last time, but we're doing the shorts.
Yep.
Couple of shorter hots, mate. They'll be quite good. Did you read that one? Aye.
I did. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I think I've got a good idea for how we're going to pull it off. I think we'll be more than able to pull it off here.
I'm dying to say a pull it off joke. Did you say that twice? I'm going to refrain for you, John. You're trying to lead me into that. No, like obviously we need them. We need to do shorts as a kind of almost a proof of concept or proof that we can work together and get stuff like that done. You know, it's taking ages. I'll just say it now. Fucking shortlist. Jesus Christ, it's about 6 or 7 pages long just on that short. Yeah.
I mean, shortlists have an annoying habit to ironically get out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, it'll obviously change on the day, but it's just something you have to do, and it was mind-numbing, absolutely mind-numbing. Do not want to do that again.
Well, you're going to have to.
I'll have to do it. Like, think how long that list is going to be for a feature.
Yeah, that's why you're the director, and I'm just the guy that sits and points and laughs at you as you have a complete breakdown every other day.
I don't think sitting and pointing and laughing is an actual job, John. I don't think you could just do that.
I think that's what an associate producer does, Jamie.
Ah, shit. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. I just go, and you just go, fucking, I want to go and kill all of these people. And then I'm like, you can't. And you're like, oh, fuck. That's basically my job, is to stop you from killing everybody.
Fair. Don't like it, but I'll do it.
What else is happening? You had a family thing yesterday, so that's why we weren't live yesterday.
It's just the usual stuff. Something always comes up, doesn't it? Even though we specifically put Monday aside, something will happen, and it has to happen on Monday. You're like at Disney, like it shouldn't happen on Monday. So
I know it's quite frustrating, but hey ho, we're here. It's Tuesday night, and we're live with this week's Icy Cast. Moving forward, obviously, it's not going to be that big. It's not going to be such an issue because we're going to be pre-recording for April 1st onwards again.
Yeah.
We'll go over that again at the end of this episode and exactly what we're going to be doing. I've got a comment here already from Chris Topher. What was the light under the bridge? Did you find out?
No, absolutely no. Like nobody's actually come up with a reasonable excuse for it being there. It's a strange one. It's been there for years.
That is a bit.
And it just flashes. So, and it's got an alarm attached to it in case anybody tries to steal that single flashing light.
Is it just some kind of social experiment? Like, let's see if anybody tries to steal that. Like, its entire purpose for existing is to be stolen, but obviously it alerts them if you try and steal it. Just to see if anybody can.
Any good reason for it to be there. So, because there's nothing there, it's just a bare wall.
That's what they would like you to think, though, Jamie.
I mean, that's what it is, John. I'll find out.
It could be, or it could be something more sinister.
I mean, I kind of hope it is. I hope it's not just a light and nobody ever thinks with the surfer. The thing is, like, you have to get permission to put fucking lights up. You can't just go about Glasgow City Centre putting up giant lights. So there must be a genuine reason for it.
I mean, I'm assuming there probably is. Yeah, let's. If anybody there who watches this finds out what that's for, and I realise that you have got very little information to go on with it just being the light under the bridge.
Yep.
But please do tell us what that is, and why it's there. Tonight we're here to talk about another record, a record that's very close and near and dear to my heart. I'm sure you've given it a good few listens. I've given it a couple of spins just today. It's a record by a three-piece band from Chicago called Star. This record is called Devastator. Star were a trio from Chicago, Illinois, who I believe formed in 2005. They're made up of vocalist Shannon Roberts, guitar player Scott Cortez, and bass player Theodore Beck, who also programmed the drums on the record. We've got a comment here, sorry, for Reservoir Droogs. It's not flashing. Everyone is blinking at the same time, and it just looks like it's flashing. That's quite funny.
It's as good as things we'll get, mate.
That might be what it is. We all think it's flashing, but we're all just blinking at the same time. But yeah, Star Chicago 2005, they formed three-piece. They released their debut album, which is this one, Devastator, sometime in 2007.
Yeah.
I think the original release was on, I'm going to get this wrong, but I think it was called Lovely Rebel Records. I think it was Lovely Rebel Records that it was called, and it came out in 2007. So it's later on that year is when I discovered the band and the record. That was the first track off it, Pure Gold Reason. I heard it by pure chance on, I think, MySpace during the late summer or maybe early autumn 2007. And that was how I discovered this band, and I thought that song was really good. And then I went to their MySpace page, and they had a few songs for this record. They had an excellent cover of "Rock Hard" by Alex Chilton, who I believe was a big influence on them, among other bands. But like I think Alex Chilton was a big, influence on them. Yeah, so I heard the first few songs that I heard, and they were excellent. 2016 was when this pressing was released. It came out on Saint Marie Records, which I believe is Australian. So I don't know how easily available it is now. I think it's quite scarce. And in fact, it has gone for upwards of 120 quid on vinyl in the last couple of years because of how rare it's become. But it's just a fucking great record, if you ask me. Let's talk about the track list, and then we'll get into your first impressions.
Cool.
Track one, or side A, has track one, Pure Gold Reason. Track two, Exploding Order. 3, Switchblade Heart. 4, Various Gun Designs. 5, Jailer. 6, Champion of Love. And side B begins with Acting So Tough, followed by this Honeysuckers, No More Party, Bad Attention, Liars in Love, and the final track is Rebels Get Lonely. Jamie, first impressions, man?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's like, I'm not trying to be controversial in here, but it's one of a time for me. I think in my 20s, I'd have absolutely loved this, but I was very much into that type of music, if you know what I mean. See, when you said to me we were going to listen to it, and I looked up and it said it was shoegaze, I went, fucking John better not have given me an album when he's singing. I hate it. Like, better not have done it. I've always said like, I wasn't a big fan of shoegaze stuff until obviously
I'm going to stop you right there because Shannon Roberts, the vocalist, she doesn't really like the label shoegaze. She's not and has never been a big shoegaze music fan. This is probably maybe a dream pop record, I would say.
I don't think shoegaze. I definitely don't. Even though when you go online, that's what it's doing as.
It's kind of characterized. I think it's mischaracterized as a shoegaze record, but it's not really. It's maybe a kind of dream pop. I would file it under dream pop rather than anything else. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
All these words that you've like dream pop, no, they all just sound like weird pigeonholes for music, to be honest with you. It sounds like you're describing weird drug dreams that I've had.
Mm.
But I did like it. I enjoyed the album.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. I absolutely anti-drugs here. Even though in my 20s I took a lot of drugs and I'd have loved this album in my 20s,
Mhm. Yeah.
it kind of fit in with a lot of the stuff I was into. Very much like, I know there's been nods towards Cocktail Twins and stuff online. Talk about this album in particular, but I think it's more like kind of slow dive. Even Lush, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Lush, definitely. I would definitely give you that.
Both bands in that time limit for me, say kind of early 20s to 25. That was like 8 years ago, John.
That was a long time ago. It was
Long
before
time
the
ago.
it was before the end of the world.
Like this would have been up there. You know what's weird about it? You know what some of the vocals that reminded me is Garbage.
Interesting.
Which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
There's like a couple of songs that very much reminded me of it, but it's up there. I enjoyed it. I'm quite happy. I'd never heard any of the songs on this or the album. There's not a lot of information online about it at all.
Yeah.
Which is weird. You're right about the record. The record goes for a good few quid. It was a short release. There wasn't a lot of them pressed at the start. So there just doesn't seem to be a lot of information on them, which is strange as a band.
Yeah, like the first record, Devastator, which is the one we're here to talk about, that was released in 2007. I want to say spring 2007 or early summer. Then because when I heard it later that year, I followed their MySpace page as it was at the time, and I was like eagerly anticipating what they had coming next. Like it was such a great record, and when I saw that they were working on their second, I was quite excited. And then I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. It never seemed to be coming, and I just assumed that eventually, like I guess they've just kind of split up. You know, like it looks like they've just split up.
Just stopped.
Yeah. As bands are wont to do at times. You know. So yeah, I was like, well, you know what, that's a great record. And they released a couple of other tracks on their MySpace and stuff like that, which I had downloaded back then. And they were just great songs. And I was like, I'm going to make it my mission in life to tell everybody about Devastator. This album is so good, and nobody seems to know that it exists. Probably outside their scene in Chicago, so in the surrounding areas. So I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Like Devastator's great. I'll just listen to that. It wasn't until I think it was 2013.
Yeah.
We had the old NHC blog, the old Hellfire blog, and I wrote a review of Devastator as one of my posts on there. Talking about basically how much I loved it and the fact that I thought it was a classic and it's one of my favourite albums. This is not news to anybody that's known me for 5 minutes.
It's good, John. I've never heard you talk about it.
Yeah. So bizarrely, right? Like, so that I wrote that in 2013. I think it was 2013. I think it was early 2013. And bizarrely, it seems like they found that review and they shared it on their Facebook page and were like, "Oh, thanks so much for this great review of the record and stuff." And I don't know if I saw that at the time they shared it or a wee bit later on. But what's weird is right, when I was in the Art Revival with Martin and Donald and Rich, I was in charge of like the email address, and we were kind of firing on all cylinders for a short period of time. We released the first EP, Sky, and we did a whole bunch of shows. So the email was quite active. And one day I just randomly got this email for somebody like, "Oh, I'm looking for John McKellar. I wanted to thank him for a really nice review that he wrote for my band's record." And I'm reading it going, I have no idea who this is or what is going on. What the fuck? And I'm like, well, that's me. And it turned out it was Shannon Roberts from Star, thanking me for the review that I'd written on the NHC blog at that point, probably 3 years earlier. and that was crazy. To this day, I have absolutely no idea how she worked that out. But yeah, that was really nice to receive that email.
Yeah, that's quite good
Um,
actually. Yeah, a wee bit of
yeah, and it was
notice
nice to
that.
see that. It was nice to see that me having such positive comments for the record was noticed by the
Yeah.
band, or at least by Shannon, and I would imagine by extension Theodore. But yeah, it was great to receive that email, and that's just a crazy story of like me on my band's email address 3 years after the review was written, just receiving this random email. And I think that she was in the process of getting the reissue sorted,
Right.
which is what this one is. So she was obviously, um, I would imagine she was probably. It was probably one of the first times since the record came out that it was at the forefront of her conscience that record that she had done by that point almost a decade earlier.
So they only did one
You know,
album?
no. The second album eventually happened. That came out in 2020. It was that's called Violence Against Star, and I'm not going to get into it too deep because we're going to talk about that in a later episode, I would imagine.
Cool. Cool.
But yeah, a long wait, but it was worth the wait. I must say, I will say that it was definitely worth the wait. So that's my wee story. That's my wee personal connection to this record and to this band.
That's good. Actually, that is interesting that the bands like bands that you know, bands that we talk to,
Mhm.
our pals, when they contact
Yeah,
you and say cheers for that, mate. So
I know. Yeah, you'd be
that's
like,
a bizarre
hello.
thing to say, but that's the truth.
I you'd be like, hello. I wrote these nice words about you fucking weeks ago. What you doing? Um, yeah, it was nice. Especially considering that, like, it's not just like a record that I found that I liked. You know, it's one of my favorite records, and it became one of
Yeah.
my favorite bands in the world. So it was super, super nice.
Would you say it's up
Um,
there with REM's Monster?
um, I would probably say so. Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
REM
good.
Monster isn't my favorite REM record, so but yeah.
I've just logged off there, John, when you say that. It's logged right off.
Enough about Monster because we're going to get
Right,
to that.
okay.
We'll talk more on that later down the road. Um, what did you think were your top tracks on the record?
I think like my standout favourite was Liars in Love. Like I just thought that was a fantastic song. That was actually weirdly the one that reminded me more of like kind of Garbage. It just had a kind of
I can see
weird
that. Yeah.
vibe to it. But
Hmm.
like that would have been, I'm going back to again in my 20s, that would have been my like standout favourite. That would have got repeated plays. And that is the one that's had kind of repeated plays out of them all. I would
Hmm.
also put up there the one that stood apart for me on the album was Exploding Order.
Hmm.
It, it's a it's not a bad song. It's it just stands out for the rest of them, if you know what I mean. And it's not even
Hmm.
like I would say there's other favourites on the album apart from that, but it sounds like almost like it wasn't meant for the album to me. I think it just stands
Interesting.
out.
That's it. That's interesting. I've never thought of it that way. Um, but
And it's a
then,
great song, but I think it's just even the hardness of the drums all the way through it.
yeah,
It just sounds kind of out of place.
interesting. I mean, I very rarely listen to like the odd track off of any record, let alone this one. I usually sit down and I'll listen to an album front to back. So it's not something that I think I would ever really pick up
Yeah,
if they're the amount of listens that I've given it. But that's interesting to hear. I do kind of see what you mean. It has a slightly different structure, I guess, and
yeah.
in terms of the rhythm section, it is sort of different for the rest of the record. I can see why you would think that.
If I had one criticism to make, like, see John's fucking face trapping him when I say criticism. If I had one criticism to make about the album, a lot of the songs for
Ah, you forgot I could do that, didn't you, you bastard? There will be no criticism of Star's Devastator tonight. It's an absolute classic. It's flawless, is what he meant to say. I should probably bring him back in and let him finish his point. What were you saying there, Jamie?
I think a lot of it is, and again, it is a criticism, but it's not a harsh criticism. I think a lot of the songs are quite samey. So the album flows really well, but it could be one giant song.
Right.
Is that all you got to say, John? Is that all you got to say, is right?
You're entitled to your opinion at the end of the
But
day, yeah.
again, like Pure Gold Teasing it, I know, sorry, Exploding Order, there's a couple that they stand out. But aye, that's, like, again, 20-year-old me, 25-year-old me would have fucking loved this. New, I like it, but I just don't listen to that type of music anymore, so.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You know,
That does make sense.
do you know think some of the songs are samey?
No.
Hate you, John. Hate your face.
I hate my own face.
Mate.
I hate my own
see my
face.
disgust.
Before we move on to sort of my top tracks, let me take a quick look at something that Reservoir Drugs has sent us. So there is a Reddit thread that's dedicated to, does anyone know why there's a strobe light under the Central Railway line near Bridge Street?
Holy shit. Does it say why?
I'm just having a wee quick look. It looks like it's malfunctioning, basically.
What the light is?
Aye.
But why is
It
the
looks
light
like
there,
the
John?
only...
It's the only light underneath it. I'm calling bullshit.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Nor do I really care. There's no really anything in terms of like a proper answer on that thread. So it's
I think you're still stung by my light criticism, John.
maybe a wee bit, a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I think that's it's just
Again, that
brilliant.
like
It's practically brilliant.
I really don't mean that as a bad thing about the album at all. If that's my only criticism, then that's a great thing. So
Look at how raging I've psychically
snapped it off.
I've psychically pulled my microphone off its stand. I didn't even like touch it. Let me try and fix this.
I mean, you did touch it. You only touched it with your 99.
Yeah. Hello. So your top track though, that was "Liars in Love," you said?
Yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing track.
Yeah. As my top track is probably "Acting So Tough," which is the first track of side B.
Oh, right, okay.
I love that song. I also really love the song "Jailer," and also "Switchblade Heart." But I'm really reaching. It's a bit. It's difficult for me to pick out any of them.
Yeah, if you like the album that much. Switchblade Heart was actually my second. That was my second choice as favourites.
Yeah.
That's a really good song. It's again like the one I chose. Everything about it's good. I would listen to that one itself. So quite happily. These songs that I'm saying, they will go on my playlist. No.
Yeah.
So, but no, the full album.
That's fantastic. That's up to you, mate. That's entirely your right. Yeah. What's your final rating? What would you say you would rate Devastator?
I mean, I'm still going to go quite high. I get 8 out of 10 just now, or like 8.3. John, what you want me to pitchfork it, John? Is that what you want?
I'll pitchfork you the new, you fucking demonic
Well, 8 out of
cunt.
10, 8 out of 10 is good. 8 out of 10 is a really good thing. Like,
it's all right.
So, what's your least favourite on it? Least favourite?
My least favourite song on Devastator? Yeah. I don't know.
You look like I've just asked you to pick. Pick who you want to die, John. Who do you want to die here?
Yeah. You would be the answer to that question right now, mate. I'll be honest.
Have I Sophie's choice you?
Aye, a little bit, yeah. I don't know. I think I
Oh,
can't pick, man. Like I don't. There aren't any low points on this record for me.
literally one of the first times I've seen you stumped me.
Fuck up.
You're usually quite vocal, John. You want me to tell you mine? And I know it's going to be a bit controversial.
What's yours?
It's the first one. It's Pure Gold Freezing.
Really
Yep. I'm no, like,
interesting. Any particular reason?
it's no one that clicked with me, and I don't like.
Right.
I don't think it should be the first song on the album. To me,
Okay.
that's a mid-album kind of, not even filler. Like that's a cool thing to say because there's no really any filler songs on this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's like a middle one. I'd have went with I had a Pulp Liars Love right at the fucking start.
But see, you fucked yourself now, Jamie, because a minute ago you said it was all samey, and now you're saying it's no samey. That's the problem.
Well, no, I said something was samey.
Your arguments are crumbling around you, Jamie. Your arguments have completely crumbled.
But definitely pure. Like I don't think it's a starting of an album.
Interesting. I don't really know what I would say would be the weakest point. It's like there isn't a single song on here that I would say is weaker than any other. I think it has to be listened to as one, as a whole, and that as a whole it weaves quite a rich tapestry, and it's really beautifully made. I can't. I think it's flawless. If I'm honest with you,
it seems weird now for me to ask you this, but out of 10, what would you give it? Even though I know what you're going to say after that. So
it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's an all-time classic. Yeah, it's an unsung classic in my opinion. I think everybody should know about this record. Everybody should listen to it. Everybody should buy it, and everybody should listen to it somewhere.
So the album you've got there, Chris, I'm pretty sure that's the one that I'd seen on Discogs on that day. That's the one that was only 500 pressed.
I think so.
There was one that's a very low pressing.
Right. I don't think this has got a number. I don't think it's numbered or anything. So I think this was the 500 though, because it was 2016.
Oh, as it, aye.
If I go to the reissued on that, because it's the blood red version I've got.
Aye,
I'll go and grab it. I'll go and grab it actually and show you.
Oh, he's leaving maybe you, folk. Don't know what to say. I can say something really bad and then just disappear and take him back. Oh, there he is. How you doing, mate? I never said it, John.
Shut up, Jamie.
I was well behaved.
We both know that's untrue. That's the blood red vinyl recording.
Yeah, nice.
It is very nice, very very nice. Let's see what it says on it. It's 45 RPM, which is unusual for an LP.
Yeah, it is actually. Aye. I mean, it's a short album. It's only, what, 32, 33 minutes?
It might even be long. It might not even be as long as that. It might only be an arse here above half an hour. But yeah, it's quite short.
So I mean, that's not bad, mate. Get 18 out of 20. When you combine what we said. No, to be honest with you, I think on repeated listens, that'll go up. There's a few albums that you've kind of got me to listen to.
Yeah.
And it's took a while for me to kind of appreciate them. I think certainly with music that is something that happens quite often. I'll have something on and then I might have another favourite in a week time. I might learn to love the first song on the album in a couple of weeks. Who knows, John?
You
But
will,
I
mate. You will.
like
You'll be fucking singing it in your sleep before too
you go
long
shut up
because it
about it,
is
mate. That's
catchy.
it. So I will yes, I do advise anybody to get a listen as well. Just
Mhm.
don't look at the shoegaze tag and say I don't like shoegaze because it's not.
Absolutely. Completely agree. What was that? I think that's basically us, man. Yeah, Devastator can be downloaded from Star 13. That's star star.bandcamp.com/album/Devastator.
No, we'll stick the link up the
You can pick
page.
it up for you can pick it up for $5 US. So that's only like
£5.
£3, three, four quid.
I
It's
don't
it's
think
a
so, mate. I
bargain,
think that's
man. You're
about a
you're
five on
getting
there.
what? Oh,
I think
is
that's
it
about a
close to
five on
one
there.
one? Is it close to 1 to 1 now, man?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, the joys of Brexit. You can get it for like $5 though. It's a classic, and you can also pick up the second album there as well. Let me have a wee quick look. You can't get the vinyl on there anywhere. It's sold out. But I think Half a Cow Records in Australia also had that out, so you might be able to still find copies of that. But
Yeah.
who knows? But you can get them digitally on that website. Violence Against Star is the second one. This one's Devastator. Again, that's star13.bandcamp.com. In fact, I'm going to put a wee banner up. Create a banner.
Right, fire it up the page.
star13.bandcamp.com/album/Devastator. This is where to go. You go there and tell them John sent you. Um, again, let's talk about the podcast changes that we're going to be making. From April 1st, the show will be available as an audio podcast on the old Spotify. It's going to be essentially what will happen is you'll get the audio version for like, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, a month early. If you're subscribed to the Patreon, which is patreon.com/iceboxglasgow. You'll only be able to get the video version on YouTube. And also Twitch, but Twitch obviously that only lasts like a week on there.
Aye, yeah,
Once it's gone for Twitch, you have to go to YouTube. So follow at IcyCast Pod on YouTube and get ready for that because that's coming on the 1st of April. So 2 weeks from this week. So 2 weeks, 13 days for now, basically, is when everything's launching.
And
We
I
won't
think
be doing the
John is it'll be live, which no live. It'll be us to get us actually there,
yes
like
in
two
person.
faces.
Yeah, it's part of why we're doing it pre-recorded moving forward, is so that I can go and get together with Jamie and we'll sit beside each other and we'll actually chat between us in person.
Yeah,
Which I think is just better for the show. The show has always been better, whether it be IcyCast or the old NHC Music podcast that we used to do together. It's always been better if we're doing it side by side. So
yeah,
we're going to go back to doing that. It's going to cost the live version of the show, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters too much. Very few people listen anyway. So it's not going to be a big deal. It'll still launch on the same night. It'll still be 9 o'clock Monday. It just won't be live. It'll be
yeah,
recorded sometime in the week leading up to that. So yeah, if you join our Patreon and support us through there, you'll get early access to the audio version and the video version as well. We will also be doing a second podcast show, which is launching on 1st of April, and that's the Fright or Flight podcast. Go to the Facebook page, which is at Fright or Flight Promotions, for more information on that. because that's going to be exciting. I mean, I don't think there's been anything posted yet there. I don't know because I don't have admin privileges on that, but I don't know if you've actually kind of commented anything
No,
there.
I haven't. I've shared stuff at the kind of ICCast page, but that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll announce that this week, and I'll make you admin, mate.
Yeah. So I've just scrolled across something that says, "Was Jim Morrison an overrated icon?"
I don't think so, because he was your
No.
stereotypical icon. So
there's nothing overrated about Jim Morrison. That's absolute madness. Absolute madness.
who said
What the
that?
fuck was this person? What was I don't know. It was on. Aye. So the person that shared that into the group said, "What the actual fuck is going on?" I think that sums it up. That's just fucking daft. That Jim Morrison was the shit. He was so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got sidetracked there. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, follow us on Facebook at IcyCastPod. At IcyCastPod is also the Twitch. And also, of course, subscribe to our YouTube at IcyCastPod, ICEYCAST Pod, POD. And be sure to be one of the first people to sign up to the YouTube, because when that 1st April date comes, all the video will be on there and you won't be able to get it on Facebook. And you'll get it early as well if you're on Patreon.
Yeah, we'll share the shit today anyway. Everybody will see it online. So
yeah. Aye. Anything else? I think that's it.
Just before we go, John, what's your least favourite track?
Oh yeah, you asked me about my least favourite track, wasn't it? Right, my least favourite track on Devastator is. Can I just go like?
Is that what we're doing? That's perfect then. That's cool.
Right. Oh. Apparently, it's this black blank space in the middle.
Right, I'm going to have to accept that's your answer, John.
I don't have a least favourite track on Devastator. It's flawless.
Fair, okay.
In my opinion. And that's just the way that it is. So I'll catch you next week for Names of Games. We're doing the letter G next week of the Names of Games series. The last one I thought was pretty fun. The letter F was good. Apologies that I've been a wee bit spaced out and quieter than usual tonight on the show. I'm just getting over some sort of flu or something that I've had for about the last week, and I'm still quite tired. So pardon me if my voice is a bit fucked as well. That's it for this week. Jamie, I shall catch you next time,
cool.
if not before then.
Cool. I'll see you next week.
All right, man.
Before then. Quality.
All right.
Ease after everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.